You know when I asked you about Kane, I was talking about Premier League free, not world.
Yeah, because everyone was saying Messi.
Yeah, I know that, but talk about free.
Sol Campbell was one.
Yeah. Do you know why that one's probably better? Is because of what?
Why? What one's better?
Sol Campbell is what he went on to achieve, what he turned Arsenal into.
It's unbelievable that he went from Spurs to Arsenal.
But the worst part about it is when he gave the interview, he said, "I'm staying." That's the worst part about it.
Yeah, and then he left.
Left him to Arsenal. The rivals.
That's awful, isn't it?
Invincible though.
Yeah, great player as well. They should. By the way, I was watching on telly the other day. I can't remember what. It wasn't on telly. Actually, it was on YouTube. You know, you go down a rabbit hole. You go. Bup, bup,
Yeah.
bup, bup, bup. The England-Argentina game where McElhenney scored the goal and Sol Campbell scored the header.
Yeah.
At 1-1 or 2, I can't remember the score. And it looked like it should have stood that goal. I haven't seen that for ages from a corner. Do you remember that?
I do remember it, yeah.
And then they went up and nearly scored the other end. It was a great header. Anyway, we're talking about Spurs. We're talking about Harry Kane, 03717 223344. Spyros is a Spurs fan. Hi, Spyros.
How you doing, boys? All right?
Well, great. How are you today?
Yeah, not bad. Bit of mixed emotions, really. I know that we won 4-0 and all that, but I think that's just papering over the cracks, mate, to be honest with you.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah,
What do you want to say
everyone's
then?
getting... Well, to be honest with you, they're saying we need to spend loads of money and bring 3-4 players, 70 mil each or whatever, yeah? I don't think they're going to do that, knowing that Conte is not signing a new contract. Well, why would you give a manager all this money to spend, knowing he's not going to be there for the long term?
Do you know what, Spyros? I agree with you. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and he's not going to be there for the long term, I don't think, anyway, because he wants ballers, yeah? He wants ready-made, experienced players. He came out and already said that the policy of the club is to go for young players. So there's already a conflict there, you know? So I don't think he's going to be there for much longer, mate, to be honest with you, and I don't think the Levy's going to give him the money he wants.
I agree with that, Spy, because I thought that when you listen to both sides of the argument, he's talking about investment and he wants backing, which I fully understand, but how can they give him all this money to spend on players and he's not committing his future to the club? That doesn't make any sense to me, because why would they give him the money to spend? He leaves and then a new manager comes in and goes, well, I don't want these players.
But what about Harry Kane then, Spyros? What happens to him?
I feel sorry for the guy, to be honest with you.
You feel sorry for Harry Kane?
I feel sorry for him, mate. The guy's one of the best strikers in the league ever. Yeah, I mean his stats, and what's he going to win? Nothing.
So what happens to him in the summer?
I think they're going to cut their losses and just sell him, mate. To be honest with you, I think he's more of a midfielder now. Anyway, he plays better in midfield.
Wow.
Well,
just might as well.
He doesn't.
You know, someone who could be in for it would be quite funny, be quite fitting actually. Imagine Newcastle come and got him.
That's an amazing call.
And then he breaks Shearer's record at Newcastle.
Shearer was what, 260?
Yeah, and he's
what's he on 198?
And he's coming up quickly on that.
So if he got on average 15 a season
for the next 5 years,
he's done it. Yeah. Oh, that is close when you think of it like that.
But he is more than capable of hitting a 30 in a season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and he's halfway there. Mitchell is a Spurs fan. Hello, Mitch.
How you doing, boys? You all right?
Oh, great. I'm very well. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, the last caller just nicked it off me with regard.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for coming on. Cheers.
Yeah.
No, but like you're saying about United, but I think that's a sideways step. I don't see what he could win at United, what he can't at Spurs. But
Mitchell, don't be so silly.
It's true, but I wouldn't surprise me if Newcastle get top 4, come in with a bid for him, and I'll tell you what, they could clear up if they got him and a few others. It wouldn't surprise me with Newcastle.
Do you know what? I mean, Newcastle have certainly got the financial capabilities of bringing someone like Harry Kane in.
And they love a number 9 up there.
They do, because they've got Callum Wilson, but it's obviously injuries, but he's been brilliant. They've got Isaac as well, again, but I mean, both of them are not as good as Kane, even though Callum Wilson's fantastic, but they're just one that you have to take seriously now. First of all, where they are in the league, but the finances to back it as well, because they can go to places maybe that other clubs will go, no. Do you know what I mean? That City will do it. Chelsea, you know, they'll just freaking write the checkbook out. There you go, have that. But he wouldn't go to Chelsea because Daniel Levy wouldn't allow it. But Newcastle, that's an interesting one.
That's a great call. Alex is up next to a Spurs fan. Hello, Alex.
How you doing? Happy New Year from Norway.
Happy New Year, boss. Happy New Year to you. What's the weather like in Norway at the moment now?
I'll tell you what, we've got what's known as a snow plough. It's sort of like you get lawnmower in the UK.
Yeah, we know what a snowplow is. We're not living on the moon. We know what a
snow. Yeah, but it's not like one attached. It's not a tractor. It's like a hand. You push it along, and because we've had like about 1.5 meters of snow in the last 48 hours, it's absolutely ridiculous.
What? So it's like a lawnmower that you push?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you fill it up with petrol and put the headphones on, and yeah, that's the only way of clearing it off your drive.
You listen to talkSPORT when you're doing it?
Sometimes I do. Yeah,
that's nice. Right. Can you not get a sit on one?
No, that wouldn't really work, to be honest. It's a bit slippery for that.
Oh, right.
So you need something with belts on.
Sorry.
We use quad bikes.
Alex, sorry, how long would that take to do that? If it's 1.5 meters tall?
How will he know?
He says he does it.
Well, my I've got quite a reasonable sized drive, so it takes me sort of about half hour, 45 minutes.
Has no one come up with the invention where you can get heated driveway?
They do, but, well, you know what electricity prices are like over there. They're similar over here, so not great.
What about a blower? Like it blows it off. Does that work?
I beg your pardon. A blower? Well, that would be... for leaves. Snow's too heavy for that,
okay.
To be honest.
All right. Just thought I'd push some ideas out there. Go on, you're a Spurs fan now. What do you want to say?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tottenham are a bit like the snow because it's all nice and pretty, it falls, but then it goes away again, and then that's just Tottenham. Because we're all right, it's nice and pretty for a little while, but it doesn't sustain, does it?
That might be one of the worst analogies I've ever.
I'm sorry. But when it comes down to Harry Kane, my daughter, I mean, the kids love him, the kids adore him. My daughter loves Kane, son, but he's got to win a trophy, and he's had enough chances to do it. But is it because of him? Is it him, his own mentality, or is it because he plays for Tottenham that he's not crossing the line? Because he's had the chances to do that with England and with Tottenham. And, I mean, our squad's not strong enough at the moment to win a trophy. I mean, Brian Gill, bless him, he did all right second half, but he was awful first half, and that's all we've got. You know, our bench, it's thin. So
you have got a lot of injuries, though. You have got a lot of injuries, though.
Yeah, we have, but it's 4 players out. But look how thin it is. I mean, Liverpool have got 4 players out, and they're stronger, and City are far stronger, and Chelsea, you know, they've got so much more depth than us. He needs to get his checkbook out and start investing because the kids, they're not good enough, and they're not getting games.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, Ben, you know, is it because of Kane's mentality that he doesn't cross the line when it matters, or is it to do with who he's playing for?
I don't think it's to do with who he's playing for, because you look at some of the clubs that have won trophies since Spurs. I mean, look, Leicester found a way to go 38 games consistency and win the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
And win the FA Cup.
And win the FA Cup. We've seen Wigan do it. Win the FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? In that time frame. So
Birmingham won the League Cup.
Do you know what there is, though? There have been players, and listen, Thierry Henry, you know, absolutely my favourite player. I love him. Iconic. Big games for Arsenal, cup finals, never showed up.
Yeah.
Didn't show up at all.
I do think Spurs need to sort their goalkeeping scenario out. Yeah. I think if Everton go down, I think Pickford will be a good goalkeeper.
Not even if they go down.
Yeah.